Okay, just a quick one. For those, let me know if you have it.
The live coding is in now.
Okay. Does everybody have it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have it now. So I don't know of my colleagues, but
Okay, so let's check in terms of the, okay, maybe we can look at that one later. In terms of the code.
Sir, please, I'm downloading it.
Okay. Okay, I'm sure by now you've all finished. Ladies, you have not heard any ladies saying they've finished. Ladies, Jennifer. Who else is here? Debbie, Deborah,
Dog.
have you downloaded?
Yes, please.
Okay. Esther,
Yes, dog.
okay, so I guess we can start now. So this week we are looking at querying data think, hey, I've not started sharing my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, bro.
Yes,
All
Doc.
right. Okay. So this week you're looking at querying economics data with SQL. Yeah, with SQL. And even if you take out economics out of there, the economics is just making it more targeted towards a course or towards a program. But otherwise, this can be used in any field as long as you have the kind of data that you're going to be looking at. Yeah, so most of the things have been written targeted towards what we'll be doing, but don't get confused because whatever we've been learning, it's not only for economics. It can be applied in any other area, health, tourism, you name it, agric, environment, whatever it is. Even all of this that I've mentioned, you can have economics of health, economics of tourism, economics of agric, and the rest, agricultural economics. So yes. So our research question for today, or what we are hoping to answer today is how can SQL help us compare Ghana regions and income group peers, sorry, efficiently once a country year panel has been stored in a relational database. So here there are two things we are looking at here, SQL and then relational database. I think these are the two new things that you are seeing. Okay, SQL and relational database. So note in this notebook, each stage has a short explanation before query. So we are going to be, I've tried it, I've done it in such a way that at least we can understand certain issues. Maybe one or two of you may be used to this already. Okay, but for most of us who are seeing this for the first time, this should be a good introduction to SQL. For the full meaning is SQL. SQL, SEQUEL. That's the full meaning of SQL, SQL. So what is this week about? You see, week 4 is going to be the first introduction to SQL. That is if this is your first time. If it's not your first time, you can still pretend it's your first time. So in the earlier weeks, we were using Python and then pandas to load, clean, and then reshape data. What we're going to do this week is that the clean country year panel has already been stored in a database. It has been stored in a database, and what we are going to do, our job is to learn how to ask database clear questions. So the main shift this week is that before we clean and shape the data, now we query and compare the data once it is already stored in tables. Okay, most of the data that we churn out or are available are stored in databases. Okay, they are stored in database. Could be even the database of students at GCTU or UCC or wherever. It could be health data stored in the database. I'm sure you know about databases. Amazon has a database that it stores people's information. I think Facebook and all these other institutions, MTN, all the things that we do, every data we buy, how we use them are all being stored and they are stored in the database. But the question is that how do you get information from it? Instead of downloading such huge information, what you can do is to query it. Query the few information that you need. And that is what we are going to be learning today. So I say why this matter in economics. So economists often work with data that already lives inside a database rather than in a single spreadsheet. Okay, so what we've been looking so far has been spreadsheet in a CSV format. Okay, CSV is not a spreadsheet, but it's stored in more of an Excel type, so we can still say it's a spreadsheet. So SQL is useful because it helps you ask structured questions quickly. Repeat those questions later and explain exactly how you produced a result. So some key terms that we are going to be faced with includes table. What is a table? So a table is a stored data set inside a database. Okay, a stored data set inside a database, and normally it is if it's table, so it's already structured. So normally they are structured in rows and columns. So as long as you have rows and columns, then you have that is a table. Then row, one observation, such as one country year. So each row would have the observations. If there are countries, you have the countries following each other. If there are individuals, households, students, or whoever the elements, firms, they're going to be listed in the rows. Okay, that's the observations or the samples. Then the columns would have the variables. Okay, each variable like inflation rate, GDP, year, exchange rate, and so on. So that's the column. Then we have schema. So the schema is the list of columns in a table. Okay, so the list of all these columns, whether inflation, the ID, the exchange rate, and all the other columns or variables that you have together is the list of columns. The schema. So the list of columns in the table. Then a key or key. Key is a column used to match rows across tables. In Stata, you call it the unique identifier. So what variable are unique? You have two data sets or two sections of a data. How you want to merge the two together. So how do you merge them? You need a unique identifier to be able to merge the two data sets. And when it comes to SQL or SQL, we call that a key. So we call that key. Okay, so key is a column used to match rows across tables. Then join. Reconnect two related tables through a shared key. So that is more or less like the merger. So if you want to merge in SQL, we call that join. We use the word join. Then group by, that summarize rows into groups. If you want to summarize rows into groups, like you have West African countries, Eastern African countries, and so on. Now you want to group by these regions or these groupings. We use the group by. So summarize rows into groups. Then the CTE, a temporary named query used inside a larger query. Okay, so a temporary named query used inside a larger query. So these are the key terms that you're going to be facing with. So now let's look at what SQL is. So it stands for the Structured Query Language. And as I said, it's also SQL is also SQL. So you can see where it's coming from. This S, then the QUE, and then this L makes it the SQL. But otherwise, this is just capturing the initial letters. That makes it SQL. So it's a structured query language. So it means that if we have structured, we can also have unstructured. So unstructured will be in terms of audio, in terms of text, like writings, like the way books are written. It could be in terms of a picture, in terms of video. All of that are unstructured. Okay, but this one, because we are dealing with a structured query language, and that is what economics we usually face. So for those who are interested, maybe beyond this, you can also go and learn the one for unstructured. Okay, where you want to query an unstructured database. So in simple language, SQL is the language you use to ask structured questions of a database. So you can use SQL to ask things like, show Ghana from 2020 to 2024. List the countries with the highest internet usage in 2024. You can also calculate the average inflation by region. You can compare Ghana with the lower middle income group. So we say SQL is mainly about producing the right result table from the stored data. Okay, so the querying gives you some information. You can just extract a subset of the table. You can also do some averages, as you can see. You can also compare one group to the other, or a country to the larger group, as we can see from these examples. All right. Let me probably say this before we continue. For SQL, it has its specialized softwares. Okay, we have MySQL, we have Postgre, SQL, and so on. Let me don't even show here. Yeah, so we have MySQL, which is heavily used for web applications. Postgre SQL, it's an advanced open source enterprise database. Microsoft SQL Server, and SQL Lite. So these are popular ones that are used. Okay, but what we are going to be doing is to use it inside Python. Okay, so Python has some packages that you can query or can link to a database and then query that database. So that is what we are doing. Because we've already been introduced to Python, and introducing a new software, I think, may take some time. But whatever command we are going to be using, apart from the first part, which will be setting up within Python, all the other commands would also work in whichever SQL software you use or database you use. So you shouldn't be stuck with only Python. You can always use other one. But again, if you don't want to be installing a lot of packages on your machine, you can always use the Python as the base. All right. So the spreadsheet analogy. The spreadsheet analogy. So if the word database feels technical, think of it like the workbook in Excel or Google Sheets. Okay, so if you take, so here again, workbook. Okay, the workbook is is filled with several sheets. So several sheets makes a workbook. So Excel and then Google Sheets. So the database is like the whole workbook. A table is like one sheet, as I was trying to say. Then a column is like one field or variable, and then a row is the one entry or the observation. Okay, so I'm sure you know Excel, I mean workbook in Excel. As I said, the workbook is made up of several worksheets. Okay, so think about it that way in terms of the database. So they are grouped in that way. They are not brought together. So the differences is that the databases are designed to manage related tables more carefully and answer structured questions more efficiently. Okay. So what is a relational database? Here we talk about what related tables, to manage related tables. So if we are managing related tables, then we can talk about what? A relational database. So what is a relational database? A relational database stores information in separate but connected tables. Okay, and probably let me ask if anybody remembers, how are these tables related? What would be able to link these tables? What word do we give to what is used in linking these tables? What makes them related? Yes, Eric.
Please, the key.
Yes, the key. Excellent. Thank you for that. Okay, so they are going to be related as long as there's that common key, that key that will link the two databases or the two sheets. Okay. So this is important because the real data systems often do not keep everything in one giant sheet. But sometimes you don't need them to be in one giant sheet. You want to store them in different sheets. So instead, they separate related measurements, stable descriptive information, and then benchmark or lookup information. So like we did last week, you realize that we're combining several sheets. One of them contained the full data set. I mean, where we had majority of the information. The other one contained just the groupings, the original groupings. Okay, and the other one, I've forgotten what it contained, but there were three data sets that we were bringing together. So something similar to that is what we are going to be doing. In fact, we are still going to be working on that same data set. Okay, but this time using SQL, it's stored in SQL. So we're going to use that one to extract our information that is needed. So the tables are connected. Yes.
Okay, go on before you. Yeah, when I'm trying to open the Wk4 live code, it's opening as PDF.
Is this okay? Why are you opening from? It shouldn't, because it's a zip file, so it shouldn't open as PDF.
Notepad when I'm I've moved to notebook.
Yeah, correct. Delivery.
So that's just like we do every time. You have to upload it into the drive, the Google Drive, the folders. So the notebook folder.
Yes, I've uploaded to my drive. Then I move it to notebook.
And is it showing as a PDF?
Yes, please.
Come again?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Is anybody also facing the same issue?
Yes, Doc, mine is showing as file unreadable.
Yeah, you can't open it. You have to go to the drive online. Your Google Drive online.
No, I mean when I'm trying to send it into the notebook, copying
Yes,
it into the notebook.
because you don't have the software. You don't have any of the SQL softwares to open it directly. So you can't double click and open. No. Okay, you can't double click and open. So come to the go online and then open it from here. When you double click it, it should open in Pull. So Ziken, also do likewise. If it's online, go online. If it's in your notebooks, online. Go online and then open it. I hope the rest of us, I hope that's how we went about it. I didn't go through this because
Yes.
the past 3 weeks, that's what we've been doing. So I thought today, that we didn't have to start from there. Okay. So kindly do it and let's see. All right. So we said that the tables are connected through shared keys. And here our key for the database you're going to be using is going to be the country code. So this is what is common in the three different databases that we are going to be querying. Okay. So this is just a tiny visual database example. You have students table. So the student ID, which has the student ID, the name, and then the program. Okay. So here, the primary key here is the student ID. Okay. So you can see from here, the grace table also has student ID. So these two, just these two table sets. So this to be able to merge these two or join these two, it is the student ID that is important, or that would help us to merge these two data sets. So these are the unique identifiers, or in SQL language, the key or the primary key. Then the rows, each line is one student. And then column student ID name program. So student ID name program. If you come here, we have the grade ID, student ID, course, and then grade. Okay. So here also, it has its own key also in terms of the grade ID. But what merges the two is going to be the student ID. So that is what here, the shared key. Okay, that's the shared key here, which would help us to be able to merge the two. So the student ID is what is the unique identifier that would help us to merge the student table with the grades table. Okay. All right. So this is the core relational idea. One table stores table information, another stores repeated observations, and a shared key links them together. Okay, so that links them together. So SQL is useful when you want to inspect stored data quickly. Okay, without having to download the entire data set. Okay, you can inspect stored data quickly. You can filter rows without scrolling manually. Okay, you can sort a result clearly. You can group observations and calculate averages or counts. We can join one table to another to add meaning to the result. And then you can rerun the same query later and get the same answer. Just like in Python, where you can always run the same command and get the same results later. But the other would I say interesting? The other thing about this is that anytime the database is uploaded, when you query, you also get what new information because it has been updated. Okay, it's about sales in a company, and this sales information are being stored in a database. Okay, you go to these big supermarkets, they already have information of the items they have in the stores somewhere, in the database. And as people are buying, it is being uploaded. So they can easily know which items are running out and the rest. So in terms of this, someone can sit somewhere and then be querying the database to see maybe today, what items were bought at what time, or the day where these items sold quickly, and whatever the query you want to give it. Okay, without downloading the entire data set, doing all these other things. Ken, any problem?
Yes, sir. I'm still facing the same.
Did you download the zip file?
Yes, please. I've downloaded it.
Yes, and you say in the zip file, what is inside it? You've extracted it? What are in the zip file?
When I open it, it opens as PDF.
No, I'm asking a question. I'm just when you downloaded the zip file and then extracted, what did you find in the zip file? What did you find in the folder? How many things are in the folder?
Um,
Ken?
Hello, Doc.
Yes, Kwabena. Or it was Ken, why the one called?
Yes, Doc. I'm the one.
No, please, I think they don't have the WinRAR to extract it. That's the problem. So they have to download the WinRAR and then extract
Or even
the
if
file.
if you're on Windows 11, you don't even need the WinRAR.
Okay.
You right click it and then you'll see extract on in the list. Ken, are you using a Windows 11?
Yes, please.
Yes. So if you've downloaded it, right click on what you've downloaded, and then you see extract. Okay, extract all. Is that what you did? Did you extract?
When I right click, it says I'm coming on. Open file, show in a folder, copy, download, and then always open this file of this type. That's what I see.
Okay, maybe you can look for you can go and download the what's the name, a zip file to be able to do it. Another person was saying you was facing the same issue. Is that have you resolved that?
Okay, so I've seen a start all, view, sort by,
Yeah,
group
I'm
by,
surprised you say you couldn't see that.
a start all. So I should click on a start all.
Yes, extract all.
Oh, okay. It open a page called browse, extract or extract again. No, yeah, extract. Select destination and extract files.
Yeah, so to extract into another folder, you go and open that folder, and then the items, go and drop them inside the drive online or in your local drive. You should upload up online also. Okay, just like we've been doing before. Have you seen it? Ken, have you found it? Can be heard. Hello?
Yes,
Can
Doc, we
anyone hear
can.
me?
Yes, Doc. Yeah, we
Yes,
can
Doc.
hear you.
Okay, let's go ahead. Ken doesn't want to mind me again, so let's go ahead. All right. So we talk about the big four query blueprint. Okay, the big four query blueprint. So it's the most beginner SQL query start with the same four building blocks. Okay, the same four building blocks. So we have select.
Hello, Doc. Doc.
Ken, you have to mind me so that it stops the distraction for everyone. Yes, what I was calling you didn't mind me. What is the problem now?
Sorry, I'm seeing my network. So I moved to documents, but when I right click it.
You've right clicked, and then you've extracted, isn't it? Hello, Ken.
It says open. I started to my document, but when I open, hello, Doc, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Doc, please, can you hear me? Okay, so I've browsed it and saved at the document, my document.
Mm-hmm.
So when I open my document, I click. It says open.
You don't have to right click there. You just go and then open it. You don't have to right click again. You've already extracted, so there's no need to right click. So double click to open it.
Okay, when I double click, it says notepad. Select an app to open this IP.
So what are you double clicking? What are you opening? Is it the live notebook?
The live notebook.
No. Ken, is it the first time you are joining the class? Let me know. Is it the first time you're joining the class or you always join late?
I always join it.
You have to go and then drop the live coding inside the Google Drive. Have you opened? Do you have a dedicated folder for this course in the Google Drive?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so go and drop it in there. Okay, go and drop it inside that folder in the Google Drive, the notebook folder in the Google Drive. If you created a folder, I'm sure some of you had the name of the course. You created a folder for the name of the course, and inside the name of the course, you have notebook and then data. Ken, did you do that last time?
Sir, please quickly just surf through how you've arranged it. Maybe he may be able to see a guide to that.
I should do what?
Just surf through the drive. Perhaps seeing the structure, he will know where to drop it. But
No, the question is that whether it has been done already or not. Matthew, whether he has done it already. If he hasn't done it already, then I don't know how. It means you are starting all over from day one. Okay. Ken,
Yes, dog.
in your
Please, I can hear you.
yes, in your folder in the Google Drive. Okay, this is not even mine. Let me go to my Google Drive. So in the folder in the Google Drive, I have a folder called Collab Notebooks, and the Collab Notebooks, I've created a folder called Informatics for Economics. Did you create that one last time?
Yes, please.
Yes. So inside the folder, what do you have? What other folders do you have?
So I've created the informative for economics, and within that I have data, then notebook.
Yes. So in the notebook, copy and paste or just drag and drop the live coding and even the guided lab into the notebook folder.
Okay.
Have you done that? Ken, have you done that?
Yes, please. I've done that.
Okay. And the data, I'm sure I share the data also. You have to go and download that one also.
The Wk4 lab.
Yeah, the Wk4, there's a data set. That one also, you need that one. So go and download it online and then also drop it in the raw folder. So in the data folder, you should have raw and then processed. Okay, you should
So
have.
I have Wk4 live coding, and then I have Wk4 guided lab.
Yes, I'm saying that drop that one inside the notebooks. Then go back to the LMS. There's also Wk4 data. Is that how I named it? Or SQL, I think it's SQL databases. No. Guys, do you have anything on data there? Or maybe I didn't do that.
No, sir, data
No,
is not
sir,
there.
we didn't do that.
You
All
didn't
right,
add
so
the
let me.
data.
SQL is a YouTube link.
Yeah. I've just
You didn't
realized.
add the data.
Okay, so let's all do that. Otherwise, we won't be able to. So a few seconds, then we can all download that one. So give me a second. Sorry, you can go online and get the data. Did you hear me?
Yes, Doc.
Let me know if you're able to download. I can see a question mark here. Hopefully, you can download it. Somebody tell me if it's successful. So again, that one, if you're able to download, that one should go into the raw folder, in the data folder. Any success anywhere?
Yes,
Mine
sir.
is
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Downloaded.
Okay. So that should go into the raw subfolder in the data folder. Ken, I hope you heard that.
Yes, Doc.
Okay. Okay, let me know if you've been able to upload that.
Hello,
Majority
Doc.
are quiet. I hope you've done it. You are following, apart from those traveling. Okay, I'm going ahead. I'm not going to hear anyone, so I'm going ahead. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, Doc, we can
Yes, Doc, we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we're talking about the big four query blueprint, which includes select, from, where, and then order by. Okay, order by. Now, for every SQL, it has to start with the command select. Okay, select. Now, so let me probably say something. SQL is it's not, in terms of the command itself, is not case sensitive. So you can write it in small letters, you can write it in big letters, it doesn't mind. Because as long as you spell it right, you'd always get it to work. Okay, but we normally write it in capital letters because we want to be able to distinguish that, apart from the colors that automatically makes it blue. Okay, it's always all commands carry the color blue. Okay, but we want to make it capital just to distinguish between that and the other things. Okay, secondly, all these commands can be written on one line. Okay, all these can be written on one line. However, to make it more presentable, they've been put on different lines. It's been put on different lines. So here, you start with select, and then you end with a semicolon. Okay, you start with select and you end with a semicolon. So that shows that this is one block of command. Okay, as I said, it could all have been on the same line, and then you end with a semicolon. So there's just a one line of command, but to make it more presentable and for you yourself to break it down to say that, okay, this is what I'm doing, rather than it be on the same line, it's better if it's broken down. Every command, new command that you want to execute, you bring it to the next line. So it says select country code, year, inflation rate. Okay, so here is that, what columns do I want to see? So the columns I want to see is what I select. So I'm selecting the columns I want to see. From which data set do I want to see it from? Remember, there are different data sets, different databases. So from which database do I want to extract this information from? That is what the from. So select these row columns from this database. Then so even in terms of, you can even end here and bring the semicolon here and run, and then it would come up with the columns of these. It would extract these columns and give you the results. Okay, but this is just an extra. So where year equals 2024, so that is which rows should I keep? Which one should it show? So just show the years with 2024, or the years that is only 2024. We know there are other years. Then order by how should I sort the results? Okay, how should I sort the results? So order by inflation rate. Okay, order by inflation rate. So later we're going to be adding these ones also. Group by, join, case, when, and having. Okay, so that it is going to follow the same pattern. But as I said, these are the ones that you would always be, I mean, even if anything starts with these two, select and then from, just to extract a subtable or a column of information, and for it to give you the result. So that's what you can query. So SQL conditions cheat sheet. So 1 second. Okay. So SQL conditions cheat sheet. We have the comparison operator, which is one equal sign. So equal to. We have the not equal to. So if you want to do not equal to, then it's going to be less than and then greater than altogether. So less than, greater than, that's going to be not equal to. Then we all know greater than, we all know less than. Then greater than or equal to. Then less than or equal to. So these are. Then text filtering. So like in quote G and then a percentage, is it means text starts with a G. You should start with a G. Then if you have this, it means that text contains Africa. Okay, so if you use this one, it means that look for anything that starts with a G and then spell it out. This one means that look for information that contains Africa. Text that contains Africa, and give me that. Then we have the logic and, means both conditions must be true, and then the or means that either conditions must be true. So either this or that, both of them must not be true. Both of them must not be true. So common beginner mistakes. Again, I'm just trying to, I hope we are following. Are we following, or it's still abstract? Are we getting something?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, thank you. So common beginner mistakes, forgetting the semicolon at the end of the query. Remember, I said that this semicolon here, okay, this semicolon shows the end of the command or the block of command or the query. I should use the right word, the query, the end of the query. So if you don't bring it, it won't give you any results. Okay, all right. So let me see. This one, I think I skipped this one. So this one is just descending order. Order this by the descending order. So the DESC is descending. Where are we here? Using double quotes instead of a second quotes for text values. Leaving a comma after the last column in select. Okay, leaving a comma. So here you can see that after this one, there's no comma after inflation rate. Immediately you bring a comma, it means that we are expecting another column. If that's the last one, the end of the columns you want, you don't end with a comma. Then misspelling a table or column name from the schema, and then using where when the logic really needs having. So later would see the difference between where and then having. At least we've seen here where. but later we'll look at how to use having. All right, so how this week database looks like, hopefully we should be familiar with the database already. The database has 3 tables. We have the country year metrics, we have the country reference, we have the income group benchmarks. So the country year metrics is 1 row per country. This is the main fact sheet. We have the country reference, which is the 1 row per country. This table gives the readable country name, region, and then the income group. Then we have the income group benchmark. That's the 1 row per income group. So this table stores the benchmark targets used for comparison. So the country year matrix is more or less like the bigger data sets. Okay, that's bigger. See, I'm raising my hand here, see if you can see me. So that's the bigger data set. So this is the main, we call the fact sheet. Sorry, the fact table. So this typical workflow is start from the country year metrics, then you join it with the country reference, and then join it with the income group benchmarks. Okay, the income group benchmarks. Okay, so you join the country year group, which is the fact table, with the country reference, which is when you need names, regions, or income groups. Before you join the income group benchmarks, that's when you need targets. So we are gradually entering into the hands-on session. So this will be the last thing before we enter into the hands-on session. So beginner translation. If the database feels abstract, use this translation. The database is the storage place. SQL is the language for asking questions of that storage place. And the query result is just another table that answers your question. We have the database, which is where we store all the information. The SQL is the language for asking questions of the database, and then the query result is also a table. Normally, the results come out in a table form that shows, that answers your question. Okay. All right. So now we can, so this is just this part, this first part. Let me use the, so let's use the AI here to extract the explanation to this. We're going to use that one to give the explanation to this part. So you can all do that. So this and if, yeah, so you click on that and then you click on explain code, and that should come up with this part. So this is going to explain to it. We're going to use this one to try to explain whatever is here. And I'm sure from the first day, from first day, we know about import. So here, because we're not going to be dealing with SQL, it's going to install that package or import that package. So the SQLite 3 import into the system, or system specific. So, and then the path, which would link to the our Google Drive. Okay, so we need to download that package for the path, and then our pandas as PD, which is going to make sure that we are dealing with data frame. So we have import, as you can see all here. Then this second part, resolve. So the resolve calls root function. This function is designed to automatically locate the main course folder. So as you can see, it's going to check either it's spelled this way or it's spelled that way. However, however you spelled it, you can make the correction here. You can even delete one of them and then give the right spelling of how yours looks like. Okay, so let's take note of that. So check how you spelled, how your informatics for economics is spelled. Whether is it with underscores, or is it without underscores but initial capitals with spaces. However you've spelled it in the folder, please correct it this way. Okay. So as a where it's the Google Lab and it searches for specific directory names. So it's going to look for data. This is one of the folders there, and then notebooks. Okay, for mine, it has added student materials. I'm not sure you need student materials, but if it asks that you need it, I can send you that. I mean, you create that folder. You create that folder. Right. So if running in Colab, it handles mounting Google Drive if it's not already mounted. So the mounting will going to be done. Then we have our path definitions. Okay, the path definitions after resolving the course routes. It defines specific paths for raw data and the SQLite data database file. Okay, and that's here. So we have our data, we have our raw, okay, and then constant, so required tables. So specifies the tables expected to be in the database, and that should be where, yeah, so here. So this block of command going down, okay, going down up to this point is what it will be expecting. Okay. Then the sixth block of command is to read table names, or the read table names function, which is, I hope I didn't skip that or copy added that onto. Okay, so I think it's up to, so this is one block and this is another block. I made that one. So function, a utility function that connects to the SQLite database and returns a set of all table names present in it. Okay, and then we have the open valid database, which is function. This function checks if the database exists and contains all the required tables. And we have our 8 database connection. The line connection equals, where's my connection equals? So connection equals SQLite. No, open valid, where's? There's quite a number of commands that you have to run, especially because we are doing it in Python. That's why we are going through all of these. If we're doing it in the normal database or one of the SQL apps, then we will not be bothered with all of these things. We only have to query that data. So that's what we have. Okay, did it twice. Okay, so maybe the main thing is that let's see whether it runs. So let's execute and see whether it runs. Has anybody want to be successful? Okay, so I have to now connect to the Google Drive. So I'm connecting to my Google Drive. This will come and I'll say continue. Okay, continue. And all of these, I still say continue. All right, so mine is opened. How far with yours? Anybody successful?
Still loading.
Mine didn't go through.
Yeah, so the same way. So because we've done these things before, remember how to troubleshoot these errors. So just go through the same process. Explain the error and all the things that we were looking at last time. So Abraham, I think you last week we went through these things with you. So kindly go through the same process as we did last week. I hope you remember, Abraham.
Yeah, Doc. So explain the error, then fix it.
Hello,
Okay.
Doc.
Yes,
Hello,
Eric.
Doc. We don't have the student materials folder, which is what is like is making the
Okay,
code
so
not
create
run.
create create that
Yes,
folder.
yes.
We should create
Create,
that folder.
yeah, so create that folder and then do it again.
Okay.
So so when we create it, where should we put it?
No, that should also be part of that should be so like this. So data, notebooks, student underscore. I think the student underscore materials. That's how it's saved here. So make a student underscore materials. So it should be inside the informatics. So the informatics for economics, then you have data, notebooks, then student underscore materials. So try that and then rerun it again and let's see. Otherwise, I don't even know why it's because it doesn't fetch any information from there. But you create it anyway. Let's see, maybe it would. Would have said you should delete it, but let's leave it there for now.
Doc.
So
Yeah.
it's done. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
So it's
after
applying.
creating it went
It
through.
worked. Okay. So
Okay.
as you can see from here, it goes into the data, goes into raw, and then extracts the database, and then here data process. So you need a process which would save or will store the data into it. And where does it go again? So it doesn't even go into the student folder. There's nothing that goes into a student folder. So you could have even deleted it and it would have still worked. But anyway, I'm glad that that's worked now. So we can continue. So we look at stage one. Please, everybody, is anybody still facing an issue or we are good? Okay, sure, we are all good. No, silence means we are good. Or does it mean something else? Okay, so stage one, list the database tables. So before you query a big query, first ask what tables are available. Okay, what tables are available in the database. So we do that by querying SQLite's own bookkeeping table called SQLite_master. This is a normal beginner step in database work because you should not guess table names from memory. Okay, so our goal is to see what tables exist before writing larger queries, and our expected output is a short list of table names in the database. So because we are working within Python, we have to now start with the Python commands. Okay, let's start with the Python commands. Otherwise, this is what I've highlighted from select to semicolon is our SQL command or query. So we are creating, say, tables equals run underscore query, open bracket, and then put this into the quote. I can see there are 3 quotes here, single quotes, and then ending with 3 single quotes, all because of we are working within Python. But as I said, if it was the SQL's main software, this is all we would have needed. So this is one line of command, and then when you finish, now spill out the table for us. So this last table here is that whatever you've obtained from this, store it in tables, and then now I've written these tables here, spill it out for us. So let's execute that, and then we can determine what tables are within our database, or the table names within the database. So here we can see there are 3 of them. Okay, there are 3 of them, and it's still using the Python indexing. So from 0, so 0, 1, 2. So we have the names. Maybe let me go back to this. So select name. Okay, select name from where? From the SQLite underscore master. Where type, you should read into a table and then order by name. So it's going to order this by name. So that's what we have here. So you can see that we have a table called country underscore reference. We have a table called country underscore year underscore metrics. We have a table called income underscore group underscore benchmarks. So we go to stage 2. We stage 2 say inspect the schema. Now inspect the schema of the main, yeah, David.
Look, please, I want to find out too.
Yeah.
In an exams, are we going to be given all of these codes, or we would have to query the codes ourselves? Because in the classwork that we've been doing, it seems that all the codes are already in the live coding, so we just need to run and make sure that we have the result that we want. So is that going to be the same for exams?
Okay. Maybe let me come back to that question in terms of this. But if you're going to make it practical, then definitely, if I write the codes for you, then I've done everything for you. Okay. If I write in the codes, that means I've done everything for you. But maybe I'm still contemplating. Normally, even those who have done online, how do you call it, online courses on these things before, you realize that most of the time it is even objective questions. There are more of objective questions where you select. But in terms of if it's going to be hands-on, then hands-on, definitely you have to write. Or some things will be written and then there'll be missing place that you have to fill and then run to see whether it works. So yeah. So
Sir,
yes, Mustafa.
sorry, I thought you said, and last week you also confirmed that you'll be giving us project work.
And somebody said doesn't want project work, so I'm also thinking about exams now.
Oh.
No, we want the project work.
Doc, I think the project work will give us a better hands-on experience. So maybe you can give it to us, those who don't want it. They will not do it.
Okay, let's continue. So the second stage 2, you inspect the schema. So what do we say the schema was again? Who remembers what we said the schema was? Let me hide this. Okay, you are even looking at it, so let me even continue. But I hope you remember what we said the schema was without looking at reading whatever is here. Hey, move me. Yo. All right, so now we inspect the
It was
schema
a
of.
list of columns.
Okay, thank you. A list of columns. So now you inspect what the schema of the main table. Okay, so the schema tells you what columns exist and what order they appear. So this matters because SQL is strict about names. Remember, I said something earlier that there is the command itself that you can write in either small letters or capital letters. It doesn't matter. But the column names, that one, you can't miss that. However, it is spelled in the database. That is how you have to spell it out. I mean, that's how you're supposed to write it. So if you guess a column incorrectly, the query will fail. Okay. So what are we expecting? So the expected output is that the column names and column order for the country year metrics. So we have schema equals run query, run underscore query, and then we have pragma table underscore info, and then this is the database. Okay, end with our semicolon and then our quote. Then you see that, okay, what have you done now? Give us the schema. So we run that, we get a table, and that gives
Yes,
us the. Abraham, you have a question?
yes. For my own comprehension, so in all time, when we are working on the SQL, this thing, the in uh, at every given point, we first have to, as we are saying, create the database, that's the tables, by putting in the command that we just run at the first line, the table equal to run query, then we input as it is. That in all time, that's the first thing we have to do. I just
Yes.
want the
Yes.
clarification.
So this one, the first one is just for you to know which tables are available in your database. Okay, what information are available? So here we see that this is what it is. But in other, if it is a data on a store, okay, data on maybe Malcolm, that's why you want to know how the data have been named or they've been saved in the database. So you need to know them so that, because remember, later I'll be looking at from. Okay, we saw this one. So if you're going to use the from which database, from which of these, so you have to write the name of this here. So you have to know what they are. Okay, so that's what this one is for. And the second one is you also want to know the column names because we are going to be referring to these columns later. Country code, year, GDP. So these are the column names. We are going to be referring to them. So how are they spelled? You want to know them. So that is what stage 2 does. Okay. In maybe this one also skips something. Okay, because the tables are already available. The database are already available. If you follow the video I've put online, okay, the LMS, it will take you through the steps where you also create your database, how to create a table and then query it. Okay, creating databases, and then before you move into these other parts. Okay, so this is just this one, the database already exists. Then you are querying it, but you can also learn how to create, just like you have Excel, inputting data into the Excel before you start working. So you can also learn how to create that database before you continue, but that is not part of this. But you can check the video, and that should give you more explanation to that. Are we good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we can see that for the country year metrics, which is this one, the country year metrics, we have these are the columns that are in that database. Okay, that's in that database. All right. So that stage 3 is to preview the fact table. Okay, stage 3 is to preview the fact table. So we start with a small select query. Remember, we're always going to start with select query so you can see what one row looks like. So this is the first time you would use the full select up to limit. So we have select from, order by, and then limit. What does this mean? I'm sure you already understand select. So select, we can see all of these. So it is selecting country code. Let me go up. Oh, okay. So you have country code, year, GDP. You can see GDP here, inflation rate. And what has it skipped? It has skipped what? Unemployment rate. Then percent, it goes to percent users. Sorry, internet users. Okay, so we are not going to query unemployment rate. Okay. So from what? Which database are we selecting all of these from? Okay, we are selecting all of these database from the country year metrics. Okay. One other thing, if we wanted all the columns, imagine we had about 20 columns and you want to select all of them. Do you have to list all 20? No. The short form for this, or is this a short form? Okay, for lack of words, I'll say the shortcut. The shortcut for that is what? A star. So select star and then from. So the star will say that now it means that we are selecting all the columns within the database, not particular ones. Please, did you get that?
Come again.
Hello?
Come again, sir.
Yes, sir, we got that.
Okay. So, Abraham, I'm saying that if you want to select all the columns, you don't have to type all the columns. All you do is that in place of what I've highlighted, you just put a star. And then it would extract all the columns. But here we are being specific on these columns. And it should select it. It should go into this database, then order it by the year, the country code year, and then limit it to the first 10. Okay, limit it to the first 10. All of these is saying that store it into sample rows. Then here I can have spill it out the sample rows. So let's execute this line. We can see that has given us the first 10. And I'm sure you know why you can see the first 10. Although there's 9 here, we know that it is the first 10. And has it ordered it by country year? You can see this. There are several, the data set is over 800. Okay, so we can see Angola 2010, Angola 2011, up to the 2019. There are more. It's up to 2024. Then we have all the other data sets. Okay, so let's test this. Let's test what I was saying earlier. I'm going to put a star here, and then I execute. You can see that it has added what? The unemployment rate also. Okay, that's added the unemployment rate. I'm going to go back. Oops. So if I run this one with the specific columns, if I should take out the country code, it will give me only the ones which are here. Okay. Did you get that? Did it work? It didn't work for anybody?
Yes, Doc, it worked.
Okay. All right. Any question? Are we following? I hope it's not too abstract.
Yeah, we are following.
Okay. All right. So we go to stage 4. Stage 4, we want to join. Join for a country view. So the fact table's country code, not the full readable country name. This is why we need a join. So you can see here that we only have AGO. We don't have the full Angola. So there's another database that contains the full names. Okay, so a join does not combine tables randomly. It matches rows through a shared key. And we know that for this, our shared key is for the country code. So it means that in our the other database, it also has a country code. If it doesn't, then there's no way we can match the two or join the two. What are the common mistakes? You see, students sometimes think the country name should already be in the fact table. In relational databases, that descriptive information is often stored separately. Okay, it's often stored separate. All right. Now, something else has been introduced here. I don't know whether you can see. Select. Let's look at this. We have select, forget about these initial ones. Select country, comma, year, comma, GDP growth, comma, inflation rate, comma, unemployment rate, comma, internet users. and that is the last thing. So you can see there's no comma. Then but you can see that here we had C dot and then M dot. We have from country year metrics as M. So we are using an alias. Because we are now going to be querying two different databases, it means that we need to tell SQL where it can find these columns and where it can find these other columns. So here we have C and we have M. The M stands for the database country year metrics, and then the C stands for country reference database. So instead of writing these long names here, so we would have written it as country year metrics dot year, country year metrics dot GDP growth, country year metrics dot inflation rate. It would be too cumbersome. Okay, so to make it more tidy, we are using aliases. So the alias of country year metric, you are saying M. It doesn't mean that it's always going to be M. You can use any letter at all. Okay, you can use any letter. It's not M, it's not always M, it's not always C. Like here we are using M and then C. So M means that it's coming from the country year metrics, and that is where we can find these data, these columns. And then C is the country reference. So country, that one can be found here in the country reference. Then what are we merging? What are we using to merge or to join the two? So that is the key. How are they spelled? Are they spelled similarly in both cases? If they are spelled similarly in both cases, then all you are doing is you are repeating. Sometimes they may be spelled differently. Okay, so here we are using, so M coming from the country year metrics. So M dot, so go there and look for country code from the country year metrics, and then go into the country reference database and look for the country code. So that's where you're going to be combining them. Then where? In fact, we could have ended here. Okay, we could have ended here, bringing our column here. Then it's going to merge the two databases. So it's merging everything, the whole database. But here we are going further to restrict it to Ghana. Okay, it could have been any other country. So where C dot country equals Ghana, it means that whatever you are querying would give us only data set for Ghana and no other one. Then we are adding and M dot year. Sorry, M dot year. So here again, as long as you are mentioning you are coming up, you are listing a variable, you have to indicate where that variable is coming from, which database it's coming from. So that is why we still have this M dot. So M dot here telling us that it's going to come from country year metrics between 2020 and 2024. So extract this database for the year 2020, 2024. You know that this is 2010 up to 2024. We don't need all of these, but just give us from 2020 and 2024. Then order by year. Okay, so order it by year. And this ordering is to start from 2020 to 2024. If you wanted it in descending order, they would have written the descending so that it would have started from the bigger number to the smaller number. And here is going to start from the smaller number to the bigger number. Okay, so all of these, we're saying that run this query, but store it into the Ghana recent variable or placeholder, and then spell out that for us here. So you can execute. Any question on this? I know if anybody has a question, I won't be surprised. But you can see now, it now has the country. It didn't used to have it here, but this join has been able to query two databases and brought them together. Okay, so we now have the column, the Ghana column, and all these other ones. And the other thing was what? It should order them by year, and that's order them from 2020 to 2024, and all these other information that we asked it to spell out. Okay. Silence. Are we okay? Is anyone here?
Yes, Doc, we are following.
Okay. All right. Okay. So if that is done and there's no question, we'll go to stage 5. Stage 5. It looks like today, how things are going, we may even probably close much earlier. But even if you close earlier, you would have to maybe, I don't know whether we can, how we can do the guided lab online. Otherwise, we can stay online whilst you try the guided lab. And if there are questions, we'll try to answer. All right, so let's see. Maybe I'm saying we may close early, but it may not be so. But let's see how that goes. So stage 5 is filter and order the 2024 data. Okay, filter and order the 2024 data. So filtering and ordering are two of the most common SQL moves. Okay. So here you are asking, keep only the rows for 2024. That is a filter. Okay. So if you are keeping some specific rows, then that is what a filter. Then if you are sorting those rows from highest to lowest or from lowest to highest, whichever one, then that is what ordering. We've already seen ordering from this other one. So we are adding filter to that. So here what you're going to do is to keep only rows for 2024, then sort those rows from the highest to the lowest based on what their internet use. So this is a simple but powerful example of how SQL turns a stored data into a focused answer. So here, say the checkpoint A. Students should now be able to explain the difference between selecting columns. Hopefully, I'm sure that one you have it, or you know how to go about that. So selecting columns, we are going to be looking at filtering rows and then ordering results. So let's look at that here. So we are selecting the columns, again, coming from the two databases, from the C and then from the M. So C.country, C.region, C.income group, all of that coming from the country reference. The earlier one we did, there was only one column that was queried, okay, from the country reference. This time we are querying three columns: country, region, and then the income group. Okay, and we are only querying one column from the country year metrics. Okay, so you can see how we are playing around with this. Instead of bringing all the data, merging, and then having a big data, and now doing all of these things that we are extracting this table that we're able to extract, and even the next one we're going to extract with the SQL, you can just query it and it just gives you what you want, what you ask it for, without having to deal with a huge data set or a huge table. All right. So from country year metrics as M, join country reference as C on country code, which is our key, where now we are saying that 2024. Okay, the earlier one, we did the where, which was based on only Ghana. But this time we are only dealing with what? the year. You can look at difference also. Whenever it is for the where, when it was a text, it was in a quote, single quote. But when we are dealing with numbers, it doesn't need a quote. Okay, numbers don't need quotes. Here we had a quote because it was a letter or a word. Here is a number, so we don't need that. So let's take note of that also. There's an order by internet users percent. Okay, order by internet users percent. But where is this variable coming from? This variable is coming from M. And M is for the country year metrics. Then we have our descending order. Order it in the descending order and then limit it to just 10. Okay, give us the first 10. So let's execute all of these being stored in Internet 2024. So again, we are given a name that is more descriptive. So let's test if this is true. If this is actually first 10, so let's make it say 15 and see whether the 10 gave us up to 9. Let's see the first 15. You can see up to 14. Okay, so it gives us more information. Okay, so let me take it back to 10. And okay, let me leave it here. But you can see that we set a descending order. So you can see that 95, 95, 94.9, 92, and so on. If we take out this and execute, it's not going to be in any descending order. So you can see 48. I think it's even in the, no, yeah, okay, I think it's in this one looks like an ascending order instead. So you have 41, 49.1, 50.5. But I don't have all the data sets, so can't tell that. As we wanted descending order, so I execute again, you can get from the highest right down to the lowest. There you can see country, region, income group, all of these coming from the country reference. And it's only this one that comes from the country year metrics. Okay. All right. So this is still the beginning in terms of at least appreciating what is in the database. We'll be doing some averages and the rest as we go on. All right, so let's go to the next one. If there is no question, we go to stage 6. All right, so let's go to stage 6. Group by region. So group by changes the level of the results. So before grouping, you have many country rows. After grouping, you get one summary row per region. So here the region is, if you come here, the region is based on these, North Africa, Southern Africa, and so on. West Africa, Eastern Africa, yeah, East Africa is here. Okay, so this is the key idea because grouped SQL answers a different kind of question from row level SQL. So let's take a look at our data, our query. Maybe let me open it up. Can someone try to describe this query? Let's study this query, and then if you're if you're fine, you can open up and then help us with your description. Who is going to try? Or you are still looking at it? What does the silence mean? Please help me.
Sorry, Isn't we should try to explain the
query. Yeah. Would you give it a try?
Yes, I'll try.
Okay.
So we are selecting the region,
Mm-hmm.
and we are rounding in the region. We are looking at the GDP growth, average GDP growth, rounding them to 2 decimal places. And then the average inflation rate, also rounding them to 2 decimal places. And we are looking at the average unemployment rate, rounding it to 2 decimal places. But we want the system to define them as they have been. Maybe, for example, for the average internet users, percentage internet users penetration or whatever, we are rounding it to 2 decimal places, and we want to call it average internet users, and so for the others. And then from the country year metrics, we want to call the country year metrics as M. That is, yeah. And then we want to join the country reference to the country year metrics on a count. We want to join them, and then when we join them, we want the country code. We want to define the country code on the M as country code, but on the C. This is a bit challenging. So where the year is equal to, we are looking at 2020, the year 2024. We are selecting the year 2024 out of all the years. And then we want to group them by region and also order them by region.
Okay.
My understanding.
That's good. Eric, your hand is up.
Yes, I also want to try my hands.
Okay.
Basically, this is how I understand it, that the code is looking at for a specific year, which is 2024. And then for each country, we are looking at the average GDP per region, average inflation rate per region, average unemployment rate per region, and then average user per PCT per region. So we are looking at the average for each region by country for just 2024. And it's supposed to sort it in order of region. That's how I understand it.
All right. Is it clear to everybody? Is anyone confused? Prince?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Great. Okay, so
No, it's not clear.
it's not clear.
It's not clear. The joint country reference. What exactly are we looking at? You see, right underneath it, you see m.country underscore code, which is supposed to be equal to the c.country underscore code. So, yes, what you've highlighted. What exactly are we considering?
Who can explain this one? Somebody explain this one. Let me have someone to explain this one. Eric, you can come in again, or was it Mustafa who explained earlier? Or any other person?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, if I can try.
So just above it, we are saying that for the country year metrics, you should name it as M. And then the country reference, you should also name it as C. Then you should equate the country, you are trying to join them by equating the country metrics, which is named M, to the country reference, which is named C, where you look at the year as 2024.
Yes. But his confusion is on this side, as well as this side. So I explain this part again for him. Or are you okay, Eric? Yeah, Eric, come in.
So we for that side, we are trying to join two databases. The M. country code is the key. So we want to join two databases where we are picking data for specific country. So we are joining them with that key as the primary key, M. country code. And so we are joining them with the M. country.
Okay. So the key is the country code. The key, the country code. So M, what have I done? M is, as we were saying earlier, M is what? Country year metrics. And then C is what? Country reference. Was it David, were you the one who asked the question?
Yes, yes,
So do you understand that M is what? Country year metrics.
yes.
And then C is what?
Country reference.
Country reference. So we are saying that go into country year metrics, look for country code. So that's what we have here, M.country reference. And then C.country code. So where C is what? The country reference. So go in there and look for what? Country code. And this join here is saying that join these two databases. The country, join M and then C based on what? The country code. That's why you have this on here. So join on this from these two databases.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Oh,
All right, guys. Thank you very much for helping with these explanations. I think I'm happy. I don't know whether you've learned it somewhere before and you're explaining, or it's just this one. It's just this one, and I'm really happy. Some of you are getting it, or all of you are getting it.
For me, it's just this one.
Okay, then that's good. All right, so let's execute it and see what we get. So from here, I'm sure you all said it. So from here, the variable itself is what? The GDP growth. But here, what you are saying that find the average of it. Okay, as I think most of us saying earlier, and was it Eric who came in later? So find the average of it, but give us in 2 decimal places. Then name it as average underscore GDP underscore growth. And that's what runs through for all of these. Okay, so let's execute it and then see what we get. So you can see that now in our main database, we don't have any variable called average AVG underscore GDP. It is just from this query. So you can see what is happening here. They've been ordered, they've been grouped by their region and then ordered by their region. So starting from C to E to N to S to W. And then we have our summary statistics, which are also following. So for Central region, the average GDP is 5.08. For East Africa, 6.63, which looks like the highest. And the lowest is in South Africa, which is 3.98. You come to inflation, Central Africa has the largest inflation rate or average inflation rate, and North Africa has the lowest inflation rate of 6.82. For internet use, you can see that it's North Africa having the highest penetration of internet users on average, and this is all in 2024. Okay, so this is based on 2024 data. And the least area is East Africa, 61.56. Okay, although North Africa has the highest penetration rate for internet and also looks like the least inflation rate. They are okay. No, they are okay. I thought they had the unemployment, but they had the second highest unemployment rate of 10.58%. You can see that they are all in two decimal places. Okay, they are all in two decimal places. All right. Maybe let's try something. Let me take these two out of here and see whether I think I probably have to bring. No. Okay. You have that. Anyway, so let me bring the two. I'm sure we all get it. All right. Okay. Any question on this? Can we move on to stage 7? Okay. So if there's no question, let's move to stage 7. So we look at use case when for conditional counts. Okay. So let's try again. Let's have somebody try to explain this. So let's maybe let's study it and then try to explain. If everybody's ready, you can raise your hand or unmute. Hey,
Yeah,
yeah,
Doc.
Matthew. Yes.
I will give my bit of understanding. So, still sticking with the sorting or grouping by the region, and then sticking with the year 2024. We are looking at the sum of the inflation, where in each region, if the inflation rate is greater than 10, all regions that have inflation rates may be greater than 10, we assign a categorization of 1 to that or to these regions. So they will, or if let's say Angola, Ghana, they have more than 10, they will have 111. And if it has a lesser or a low inflation, lower than 10, 10 and below, or lower than 10, we assign 0 to it. So they will have 0. So even if it's a decimal point below 10, you assign 0 to. So all those ones will be categorized. So it's kind of data categorization here. And then joining the country reference as C. So you are inferring to the previous one, and then here is more of categorizing the data in terms of their inflation rates.
Hmm.
And that's my bits on this.
Okay. Anybody wants to add more?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So what we are seeing when you take the region data, you should look at the inflation rate, add it where it is greater than 10. You should assign 1 to it, and wherever it's less than 10, you should give it 0, assign 0 to it. After you are done with all that, you should rename that thing as high inflation count. Then you now come and look at the country year metrics, name it as F, and then the country, then look for the country code as a key to join them. And you'll be looking at the year 2024. Then you group them by the that's the region C, using the country reference C region, and then you order them based on descending order.
Hmm. Okay. Please, are we all clear with this? Is anybody still confused with this?
No, we are good.
Okay. All right. So let's execute and then see what we get. So does this reflect what we're expecting? Let's look at the results and then let's see whether it reflects what we are expecting to get. So what are can somebody explain what these numbers are?
So I'll try.
Sure.
So this means West Africa has 6 countries with high inflation rates, greater than 10. 6 countries whose inflation rates are greater than 10. East Africa has 5. Sorry, Central Africa has 5. East Africa has only 1 country whose inflation is greater than 10. In North Africa, none of the countries in that region in this database has inflation which is greater than 10. Yes. And then the same for Southern Africa.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay.
But look,
Yes, Brown.
the case was that if it is less than 10, then it is assigned the number 1. If it is more, then we assign 0.
Yeah.
But then if we are seeing 6 and 5, is that not supposed to be a defect in what we've done? Because that was what we are supposed to see in the table.
Okay. So look at the command again. Or can somebody explain, answer his question or his concern, address his concern?
Yeah, so the command is that we are summing inflationary rates within the regions. So if within the region, the countries in the region, if the inflationary rate for any country is more than 10, we assign it 1. And then we sum them up like that. So that's my understanding anyway. So we are summing the inflationary rates, we are categorizing them within the regions and summing them up. I don't know whether
Did you get it?
Can I also add some more?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Eric.
So what is happening is that because we are counting, anytime a country's inflation rate is greater than 1, greater than 10, then it counts as 1. And anytime it is less than 10, then it doesn't count. That is why it assigns 0. So for the specific regions, we will count incidences where their inflation rates are greater than 10. That is why for West Africa, we are getting 6. It means that 6 countries had inflation rates more than 10. So each of them will be counted 1, 1, 1, 1. Then those that are less than 10 will be counted as 0. So when you sum it up, that is why we are getting those figures.
Okay, makes sense.
So,
Makes sense.
I
Yeah,
do
Prince.
understand what we are all saying, but I also just want to confirm something. But does that also imply that in West Africa, there is no country that has an inflation less than 10? Because based on the question my colleague asked, that if there was a country within West Africa that had an inflation less than 10, meaning we would have had 6, and then maybe if there were 2 countries in West Africa, then we would have seen maybe 2 as 0, 0. Or the fact that West Africa, there is no other figure apart from the 6, meaning there's no country that has less than 10. I don't know if Doctor gets my question.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Doc, if you click on the calculator or the star AI, it gives further details. So sometimes it's a bit cumbersome, but it does explains why the code is applied as such.
So it didn't. I clicked on it and it didn't show all. Did you say the calculator or the star? I think this one. But what's the name? Who was the question? Someone was asking the question. Sorry, I missed the name. But do you get it now? The one who was asking the question.
Yeah, so for me, I get it. Per the explanation Eric and then I think Mustafa gave, I
Yeah.
understand. But then the follow-up question I think also makes sense. So I wanted to get an input on that because
Okay.
per
Yeah.
per what the I don't know who asked, but the guy that asked, he mentioned that if we are going to go according to what is in this table, it means that there was no country in West Africa or there was no region in West Africa that had an inflation less than 0. So, sorry, an inflation greater than 10.
Okay. Who answered that?
But I think it also depends on what is in the data set or the
Hello,
data.
Doc.
Yeah.
Well,
Hello.
maybe not all the West African countries are in the data set. I don't know.
Maybe
Hello.
all of them are in it. Yeah, Isaac.
Yeah, so I think even from the coding, we said we wanted countries with high inflation rates. So I don't know if that is also a factor why we didn't get for low inflation rate.
Okay, so let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. So we say that they should sum up. Okay, let's let's see. I want us to do something first. That's inflation count, and then from M join C on country code. Where year is this? Okay, so let's do this. I didn't get what I wanted. Okay, maybe let me just explain. I thought I could have used this to explain. Or can I add another? Okay, so what is happening here? I think somebody also tried to explain it. What is happening here is that here in this data, we still have 54 countries. Okay, we still have the 54 countries, all of them grouped in the various regions. So West Africa, Central Africa. So this is telling us that for all the countries in West Africa, it's 6 out of those total number that has a high inflation rate as greater than what? 10. Because it is giving it 1 0. Okay, 1 0. So it has counted all the ones. That's what it has done. Counted what we are having here is that it's counting all the ones. So if it counts all the ones in West Africa, it had 6. Counted all the one. The one here is inflation greater than 10. So all the one in Central Africa, they had 5 countries. Okay, so the concentration was on the 1 and not the 0. Please, do you get me?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that is what this is happening. I mean, that's what this is doing. We can let me try this one and see whether it works. So I'm going to use
Where is the 0 showing for North Africa and Southern Africa? If the
because it didn't
concentration.
count any one over there. Are you with me?
Yes, dog.
I hope this one
Yes,
captures it.
dog.
Okay. All right, cool. So here I'm doing low. So if it is less, so the first one was greater than 10. This one, if it's less or equal to 10, it should give it 1. So I'm looking at the low. Which one did I miss? Reaching.
Hello, sir. Yes, so
Yes, go ahead.
order by high inflation count. So you have to change it.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. So let's see this. So now look at what is happening. Here we had West Africa 6. Here West Africa is what? 10. And this one is capturing the number of countries in West Africa that has inflation, that has low inflation or inflation lesser than 10. Okay. So here was high inflation. This one is low inflation. So here it is still counting the 1. But here our 1, the definition for 1 is low inflation or inflation lesser than 10. Lesser or equal to 10, sorry. Are we good?
Yes,
Yes,
Doc.
sir.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, all right. We have a few left. I don't know whether we can take a break and then come back. We just have we only have 2 stages to go, and then that will be the end. Should we take a break or should we finish it?
Doc, we can finish it.
Yes,
We
sir.
can finish it, Doc.
Okay. All right. So we look at stage 8. So hopefully there's no other question in stage 7. So what I've done here, you can also try it. I just changed it to low, low. And as I missed this low, remember I missed something and I had it wrong. So always you have to be careful when you are making these changes. So the one who got that, thank you very much for getting that. All right, stage 8. Use having on grouped results. So say having is like a filter for grouped results. So use this mental shortcut. So where filters ordinary rows, whilst having filters, grouped summaries. Okay, that is why having appears after group by. Okay, so here we can have, so let's look at what we have here. So maybe somebody try and explain this result. So let's take a look at it and see whether you can explain this query. So let's examine the query and get some interpretation to this query. Anyone? Hello?
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, Esther, have you understood it?
Well, I'm
Can you explain it?
following you. Right now, I'm not by my laptop, so I'm following you. So that when I get back to my laptop, then I'll do it by myself.
Okay. Anyone can help us explain the query? Or you can execute it and see what you get. Okay, you can execute and then the other one was in inflation. People of God, are you there?
Yes, Doc.
It's as if you guys have left me to my own fate.
We are here.
I don't understand this.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's look at this. So let's look at this command. So here I have taken out having. Okay, the having command, but this one has the having command. So this is the output for having. Okay, so we had five rows. And we had 5 rows. North Africa 87, and so on. Then we have this, which has the halving, which has only 2 rows. So what do you think the halving has done? What has the halving done? What has the command halving? How has it affected our results?
I think it brought the 2 highest countries, regions.
Yeah, because we are saying that it should spill out those who have what?
Internet penetration.
Average internet percentage greater than what? 70.
70.
Okay, and out of this, you can see that it's only 2 regions that has an average internet rate greater than 70. So that's what having does. So here, it is doing it based on the query, or a query on the, as I said here, on the grouped summaries. Okay, all right. Please, have you seen the difference? Do we appreciate the difference?
So, Doc, if
Yes, Doc.
let's try having less than 70 and then see, just as we did for.
Yeah, so there's it. Okay, the greater less than 70. Okay. So let me just change it. Let me give another line of command and then do what? You say what? Less than 70.
Yes, less than 70.
Yeah, okay. So this one, should I make it low? Low. Where else do I change it? Yeah,
The last one.
the last one. Okay, so less than 70, and we should expect 3. Okay, based on this, we should expect 3. So when we
3.
execute, we have our 3, or the less
Yes.
70. Okay. All of this, we're doing 2024. We can change to 2020 and see what happens. Okay, so 2020, this is the values we are getting. Okay, so we can make all these changes just to see the results. Shouldn't always be what I give you. You play around it and see the outcome. Any question on this?
No.
Okay. All right, so then let's look at stage 9, which is join benchmark targets. So now you are joining a second reference table, the benchmark table. This shows one of the biggest advantage of relational databases. You can start with the main measurements and then bring in extra context only when you need it. Okay, only when you need it. So let's look at it, let's study it, and then somebody try to help us explain.
Hello, Doc.
Abraham.
Sorry, please, can you move to stage 8?
Which part of stage 8?
Okay, so we run all those tests. Really, if we could be kind enough to explain the halving aspects.
Abraham, where did you go to?
So I was here. Just that I always want to first understand the preceding one before I move to the next one.
You are taking us back.
Uh,
Should we leave you to go and play the audio, replay the video?
Just
Somebody.
just
Let me have somebody explain it to him. Who is
Mhm.
going to volunteer to explain to Abraham?
So I don't get any volunteer.
Today Inusa has been very quiet. That's true. Inusa, are you here? Is Inusa here?
Davido. So all my gurus, you are all gone.
Look at this. This
Okay,
one has having.
Abraham.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
David, go ahead.
basically, what the having seeks to do is that, though, can you go up a bit? You're looking at the average internet user percentage that is greater than 70. Do you get it? So the regions that are having um, an average internet percentage, user percentage greater than 70 is what this query is considering. Do you get it? So if you run this, you would get the results for only regions with internet percentage greater than 70. So that's why we tried the less than 70 to also see the results that we will get.
Mm,
Are you okay?
okay. Then move
Yeah.
to the.
So here we took out the having, and it gave us everything, whether greater or less than 70. But when we left in what the greater than 70, it gave us only regions with what internet user rate greater than 70.
Okay, that's the
And we
having.
tried the less than 70. Okay, we changed it and made it less than 70, and we're getting only the ones less than 70. Let me change this on to 2024, back to 2024. Okay, so less than 70. All right, thank you, David. All right, so stage 9. Let's go back and examine our code, our query. Has anybody gotten it? Hello? Don't leave me here alone. David, you want to answer?
I want to try something.
Okay. So
Right.
in this class, I'm getting from awarding marks for participation. I know the people that I'm giving the marks to. All right, David, go ahead.
So look, with this particular query, we are looking at a comparison on the performance of low middle income countries. And
That's coming from here.
yes,
Okay, good.
and what we are measuring is the internet user percentage. That is right underneath order by internet user percentage. So whilst we are looking at that, we are also considering factors like the GDP, inflation, growth targets, all of this, and how it correlates to their internet user percentage for low middle income countries or regions.
What about
I don't
this
know.
one?
So this one, we are looking at the internet user percentage. Is it minus?
Yeah, that's minus.
So M dot internet users minus the B, which is supposed to be
The
what are
target.
the B?
The B is coming from here. So the
Yes,
income.
yes.
So we are here. We
The
are merged.
income group, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
So we are looking at the internet user percentage minus the income target group, and that is going to be represented as the internet gap.
Mm.
And then from there, we can now analyze the countries and their internet user percentage.
Mm. Good. Anyone wants to add more to the explanation? No, okay. Nobody?
So the low middle too, you can see that there's some comments over there. You made mention that because it is not in the year or it's not in the accounting numbers or something. I want to. That is why the reason. That is the reason why the comments are also there, because it is not in the figure form.
You mean here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it is in. This is in quotes because it's they are words.
Yes, sir.
And you can see here where this one is not in words. If we're dealing with another variable, which is a label or letters, that would have also been in quotes. Okay. So thank you very much. So as you can see, we are selecting all these information. These ones coming from one database, this one coming from another set of database, this one coming from another set of database. So you are dealing with 3 databases. Okay. And then we are saying that we are generating a new variable called internet gap. And that is the difference between internet users per percent and internet target. And they're also coming from different databases. This one coming from M, which is the country code, and the B coming from the income group benchmark. So what's the benchmark of internet that you're supposed to get? So you're subtracting that. And if you fall short, your number should be lesser, it should be negative. If it's greater, if it's positive, your number, it means that you have even gone past the target. Okay. So here we are combining the main data set. So from this, which is the M, join the C, and then join the B. But look at this one. For this one, we've been looking at it in terms of the M and C. It's all country code. But if you want to join the benchmark, income benchmark, we are now using the income group as the key. The income group now is the key, no more the country code. So it is the income group here, which is the unique identifier here. And then we say we are limiting it to 2024, and then also for lower middle income countries, and then order that by the internet user percentage in the descending order. So from highest to lowest. All of these being stored into the benchmark comparison. So let's execute that if you've not done that already, and then we can get this. So you can see the internet gap, and all of them are positive. So they are all greater than 70. So the benchmark here is 70. Okay, the benchmark is 70. And then you can do your own calculations to see whether that is right. So you have 94.9 minus 70. That should give you the 24.9. Okay, so you subtract the internet user, the internet target from the internet user, and you should get the gap. Here we've limited to just 10, the first 10. This is a huge table. Okay, we didn't limit this. So this is the huge table over, that is the 830, is it 830? I've forgotten the number, but 800 something, 800 plus rows. Yeah, we're leading to the first 10. Okay. All right. So that's for stage 9. Any question on stage 9? Okay, so if there's no
Hello, Doc.
yeah,
So, Doc,
yes. Yeah, Joseph, you came first, or should you go to Jennifer?
Doc, please, I wanted to ask for internet user percentage, I know, but for internet target, I want you to explain that part for me.
So internet internet target is a variable in the in the internet it's a variable in income group
yeah.
benchmark. So it's a variable. So because we are bringing them together, we are saying that subtract the internet gap from this. So it's like we are saying the pass mark is what is A in what's the pass mark for A? I mean A in GCT. What number is A?
70.
70. Okay. So it's like that. You have 70 and you have students' grades. So you are finding the difference between what they had and that's 70. Okay, so here is the same thing. So here the benchmark is the same across all regions. So 70 throughout, which is a variable in the income group benchmark. So we are subtracting that one from how much what is the rate? What is the internet user rate in Morocco? So the internet user rate in Morocco is 94.9. So what is the gap? The gap is what they have minus what the target is. And we see that it is 24.9. Joseph, is it clear?
Yes, please. It's clear.
Okay.
So does it mean in this particular case, their gap is a positive gap?
Yes, they have gone past the gap. So they have 94, which the target is 70.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Another lady was going to say something.
Doc,
Yeah, Jennifer.
yeah, with the outcome, can we say that the internet gap can help us to achieve the income group of the country, looking at what the internet gap gave us? Because for Morocco, for instance, we realized that when we subtract, we look at the difference, we still have a 24.9, which is positive, and so we can conclude that the income group is a higher one for Morocco.
I'm not sure we can determine that. So here, if you like, what we can do is to add the income group. That is, what is the name of that one? What is the verb? Sorry, I should know that one. So that's income group. So income underscore group. So what we can do is to add that also. So let me just check again. Income underscore group is from C. So C dot that. In fact, let me just copy. I'm going to copy this and add it to the list over there. So you can actually refer because it has already been calculated. So we don't have to even, let me take it closer to it. and a comma. So I've added this to it. So I execute, and then you can see. So Morocco is still in what? The lower middle.
Lower middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these ones are
Mm.
already constant, but these other
Okay.
variables are saying, have you met the internet user rate? We are saying that at least 70% of your population should have access to internet. Have you met it or not? And we can see that Morocco has over met it, over exceeded the it. So it has even 24.9% more people or users who have exceeded the other, how do you call it? 24.9%
1%.
high more. Okay, the target is 70. Here we can look at this one. Although Lesotho has met it, it only has 4.4% more or greater than the target rate. Very good.
Yes, Doc. Thank you.
All right. Any other question from anyone? Okay. So if not, let's look at stage 10, which looks like the last command. So I can't show everything here, but you can look at your screen. You have the command. You can all, not somebody. Let's all go through it and see if we can appreciate what we have. But first, let's see. Say they use a CTE for a benchmark comparison. So a CTE gives part of your query a temporary name, so the final comparison is easier to read. This is helpful for beginners because it turns one long, complicated SQL block into smaller pieces with clearer meaning. So just look at it and see whether you can appreciate what is happening. Hey, I hope you are still here.
So we are here.
Or you are still looking at it. Or you're not getting anything. we can use the explain code if you want.
So I think we are trying to compare Ghana to the group
Okay.
based on almost all the matrices, or for want of understand it. So comparing Ghana with for 2024 with the lower middle income group. Looking at the GDP growth, inflation rates, unemployment rates, internet user penetration. So we are trying to select Ghana from the country year metrics and reference, and then the income group. That's the lower middle income group. So that's the group we are trying to compare Ghana to the lower middle, the income group, the lower middle income group. Yeah, based on all these matrices, as I said earlier, GDP growth, average GDP growth, inflation rate, average inflation rate, unemployment. So the GDP growth of Ghana as against the average GDP growth of the group. And inflation as against the average inflation rate, unemployment rate of the country as against the average unemployment rate of the group. And the same for internet user penetration of the country as against the average internet penetration of the group. That is the lower middle income group.
Yeah, thank you. Are we good? Anyone else?
So this specific indicators are drawn from the 2024 data set.
Yes, also the 2024. Okay. All right. Okay, so the explanations, there are three blocks to this, as trying to explain. So you have the first part, second part, and then the third part of it. Okay, so the first part, which is the lower, giving it a name. Okay, so lower middle 2024. And because it's just being descriptive, because you're looking at lower and then the 2024, the lower middle, and then the 2024. So giving that name. And this part, very common. We know about that one. Then we are selecting the country, the name it G, so dot G. So that is that. So everything here has G, and then L. Which one is L? As L. Lower middle income 2024 as L. So whatever we did here is going to be as L. By selecting that is going to come from our database from here. Okay, or the averages that has been calculated from the first part. Because that is what we are saying as L. Lower middle 24 as L. Now we have So G and L. Then we are selecting from this country from this, and then it's building up what we can use to compare Ghana to the other groups. Okay, so you have GDP growth 6.4, average GDP growth 4.9. So this is for Ghana, this is for the region. Inflation for Ghana, then the average for the lower middle group 7.98. Ghana is still lower in inflation. Unemployment rate, Ghana is still lower compared to the region. And then for internet users, Ghana higher than the region value or a region figure. Okay, so that's what this does. So you just take it one at a time and see if you can understand what is happening. Any question on what we've done today? Mustafa, what did you
Sir,
say?
the file, the student materials, is this, I wanted the exact,
Student underscore.
is this student or students?
So let's go there and then see what's there. So student underscore materials. You can as well just delete it. Okay, you can delete this one from it, or you create the folder, whichever one you do. But maybe it's safer you create it for
I
now.
created a folder, but I made it students, so I think I have to rename it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other question? Okay. So this more or less like a crash course on SQL or SQLite, SQL in Python. Okay, and you have the lab, the guided lab. Let's run through that. Okay, whatever we've learned from here, you use that one to run or answer the questions in the student lab. If we're doing face-to-face, that one you'd have been doing, that would be your practical session in the classroom. So it means that even if you close from here, it doesn't mean that you have closed the class. You should be going through the guided lab. Okay, and then from there you answer the homework. You go to the homework and try to answer everything the homework.
Sir, I can't see the homework on LMSU. I've just seen the submission, but the work itself.
Can somebody see it? I think I've even have to update that one. But
Yes, sir, I've seen it.
Okay. But I think I have to update
There
it.
is an attachment too. So I think it's there.
Yeah, you can download it. If you click on it, it should download. Those who have seen it, were able to download. Esther, were able to download?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Even download and even send it into the notebook.
Yeah. So I'm changing it so you can delete the one you have and then use the new one. So give me a few seconds to to make that change. 35 participants. So they say there are 35 for a few. I'm not sure I've ever had more than or up to 30. But there won't be much difference between the two, but just use the new one that I'll put in there. I should have it this week 4 homework. Where are you? Here we go. And drag and drop. Okay, so where are you? You should have the new one uploaded, so you can download the new one. Okay, so any other
Okay,
question?
Doc.
Yes, Enoch.
So we are putting it in the Wk4 notebook in our collab.
Yes, just to
Okay.
put it in your Wk4 notebook. Hey, do you have Wk4? Just put in the notebook, not
So
Wk4.
it's Wk4, you know.
Or keep your creating folders. I've not created folders for each week. So they're just the notebook. So when you just drop it in, and all the notebooks from week one to week 4 would be in all of them.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, Joseph.
Please, the student underscore material, which data should I put it? I should put it in.
There's nothing inside now for now.
Oh, okay.
It's empty. That's what I'm saying, that we can even delete that line from the code, but you just leave it there. Just create it and leave it there. Let it
Okay.
just have fun. Let it enjoy its emptiness for now.
Okay.
All right. Any other question on today's material or previous materials? Okay.
Hello,
So
Doc.
have you had access to the videos
Hello,
from
Doc.
the previous weeks now? Yes. Who is calling? Enoch?
Yes, Enoch. Yes, I
No,
said my
please.
concern is with the videos.
The videos.
Yeah. So one was that
No.
I've reported.
It has been updated. You kindly check.
No,
Hey,
they only
Evans, we
plotted the
checked
week
this
two.
morning. It was
It was
only
They
only
week
brought
week
two.
two, week two, week two,
It's
week
only
two.
week two.
Week 3 is not there.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So
So
I
even
report.
when you miss class, you are unable to do the assignment. Me, for example, my laptop is spoiled. My phone, like this month is not a good month for me at all. All my gadgets are spoiled. I have electrical fault. So I'm now resolving my laptop and my phone as well. So I'm trying to get access to the video so that I'll watch and do my assignment. This from yesterday I've been trying, but it's not there.
Sorry about that. So I have made the report, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I can really do about this.
But Doc, is it possible that maybe you can also record from your end?
No, even if you check, you realize that the recording button is there. Okay, but I'm not the host. This does not belong to me, and it's being recorded in the cloud. So when it's done, it still goes back to even day one. One of you was also recording. Did you get it?
No.
Yeah. So one of your colleagues was also recording. When you finish, it doesn't come into your local drive. It still goes back to your distance education, your unit. So they have total control. I don't have control of that.
Doc,
Yes.
is it possible you can request for it and then maybe upload it in the Google Drive for us?
Okay, maybe I can try that one and see whether it is going to help. So
Yeah.
I'll see.
So hello.
Yes.
Yeah, so the challenge is that normally after recording, they do some sort of cutting. They refine it a bit. Sometimes they take away certain portions and all that because before they share it. So I think in its raw version, they will not share it in its raw version because sometimes discussions even outside the class happens
Yes.
and
Just like what you are doing now.
yeah.
Hmm.
And that takes too long.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there are just few people doing it
People
for
have been employed to do that.
all the other sessions also.
Okay.
So maybe that's what is happening. Maybe
Hello,
there was an
Doc.
AI that can do it quickly. Then maybe that could have been done. Yes. Who called? Charles?
Doc, please, is there any
David.
recommended videos on YouTube or something that we can go and watch it?
Who answered him for me?
Please, there's always videos there. Before the start of the course, he puts a video, an introductory video. It's in the
There's a video on
LMS.
the LMS. You can watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even
Okay.
for this specific one, there's a video. Yeah,
Oh,
nice one.
okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
All
Any
right.
other question?
We are grateful for today.
Yeah, I'm also grateful.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
did
much.
you follow?
Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Yeah.
I think before we go on our project work,
Yeah.
um, when are we going to get it so that maybe you can get some ample time to work on
Okay.
it
So
and
you,
send
I'll,
to me?
I'll, I'll, I'll check. I'll go back and then check, and then if I have to put it online now, I'll do it. But if there's a time I have to do it, then I'll also do that. I'll also wait till that time.
Okay.
I'll check and then get back. So you should always be monitoring your LMS page. Do you get notification when something is placed there?
No, no, Doc.
Mm.
No,
Okay,
Doc.
so
I
you would
think
have to be.
you should get it when you sign up to the email, the Outlook, to the school account.
Okay, so if you sign in, you get notification.
Yes.
So please listen to him. He said with the school account, you should be able to get notification. So let's
Yes,
do that.
yes, true.
Okay.
So Doc,
Oh, Isaac.
so I don't know if I can say this, but then with I'm able to do a screen recording on my laptop. I don't know if it is right because I normally would want to go back and go through it if the recording doesn't come. So I tried it today and I'm able to do some recording. So I didn't. I
So
maybe I'll
you can share with your friends.
yeah.
So
So I'll share with my friends. Maybe they can look at it. Can I put it inside the classroom so that they can? I don't know if it's possible.
no, if within my classroom, my space is already
Oh,
limited. So
okay.
what you can do you guys have
Let's put it on our
a
WhatsApp.
Telegram page?
Just share it in our page.
WhatsApp will also be too
No,
limited.
WhatsApp it will be too big. Yeah, it's about
So if you have a Telegram, you can create a Telegram page for your
Telegram
class.
will be better.
Yeah. So create a
okay.
Telegram and you can put it there and you can all share materials there.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So I'll try that and see.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. If there's no other concern, then okay.
Sorry, please, the
Inusa
one
has spoken at last.
who recorded the session, please, what's your name?
That
Are
should
you
be
going to
Isaac.
arrest him?
That should
No,
be
no, so
Isaac.
that
It's Isaac.
sorry,
It's
so
Isaac.
that we can reach out because he's now going to work on the Telegram. I also have Google Drive, some space, which I'm thinking I might create a folder and share the link for him to upload it. Because I have
Yeah,
the
the
subscription.
other problem is that Google Drive, anybody else has a lower space as long as they
Yes,
click on it.
I'm saying that I have subscription, so I've subscribed. I have extra space of about 100 gigs. So um
Yeah, but the others who haven't subscribed, it goes to it increases their size. I mean, their space becomes smaller. But
yeah,
anyway,
so
you guys work
okay,
on
so
it.
when they
You work
click
on
on
it.
the link, they go there to download and they will have the hard file on their machine to rewatch instead
No,
of playing it
Telegram is
online.
better, and if it's on Telegram,
Okay.
it will even last longer. So
Okay.
Telegram is better.
Yeah. No, so you can do it for those who want to get access to it now. Then later when you do the Telegram then you do it. So that's fine. So Inusa, you can link with Isaac and then you get it. Then Isaac, you try and get the Telegram for everyone or whoever will create it. If the course rep will create it, whichever for the class. Okay. Is Grace here? Grace and is it Evans or who are the course reps? Are you here?
I'm here, Doc.
Evans and Grace, are you here? Grace didn't come to class today. All right.
She's online.
She's online. Okay.
Yes, she's online.
All right. Okay. So, guys and gals, thank you very much for joining the class this week. God willing, we'll meet next week. Next week, we'll be doing some
Hello.
drawing, some charts and rest. Yes. I'm ending too early. Who called Esther?
Yeah. So I learned Evans was saying that we are left with some limited time to do the assignment to submit it before 2 p.m.
No, that
But
is
right
last week's own. That is last week's own.
yes, last week's one. Right
So I'm
now,
going to somebody is complaining that they are traveling. So I'll just take it to tomorrow evening.
Thank you
okay.
so
Thank
much.
you so much, sir. God
Let me leave
bless
before I
you.
even forget.
Hello, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Please, if you can upload the lab and other things early, because it's like this one came in either last night or I saw it this morning. Because yesterday I checked throughout the day and
You
I
check
didn't see
there. It's not my
it there.
okay. It's my fault. I was going to say it's not my fault, but it's my fault. The week is always very busy. Next week, like, is going to be very busy. And sometimes I want to go through some of the issues before I put it there. So I think that's what delayed it. So I'll try and see whether I can put it there earlier. But I can't put it now because I have to go. Although I have the materials, I want to go, and if there are some changes I have to make, I make it before I put it online. So I'm sorry for that. I hope it gets better, but next week I can't promise because next week's a very, very busy week. But let's see what happens. I'm not sure. I'm sure it is not. It's not what you want to hear, but I'm sorry. Okay. So are we good? Are we okay?
Yeah, we are fine.
All right. So I've extended the time to tomorrow evening. So let's try as much as possible to upload the assignments.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Thank you too.
Thank you, Doc.
All right.
God bless you. Bye.
God bless you.
Amen.